Welcome to the Craig Kenneth Show. I am your host, Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm your co-host, Coach Victoria.
And today we have a caller with us that has been really struggling with their relationship. They've been in a long-term relationship, but he feels like his partner has avoidant tendencies and she's not going as fast as he is hoping things are going to go.
Sounds like she might be dragging her feet.
Andrew, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you guys. Hello.
Welcome to the show, Andrew.
Yeah, thank you. Happy to be here.
We're excited to have you on today. Could you tell us how old you are roughly and how old your partner is?
I am 33 years old and my partner is 35.
Okay. Now, how long have you guys been together? Tell us a little bit about that and about your relationship and what's going on.
We've been together for about 8 years. Uh, the birthday's coming up and it's the same day, like the same number for in January for our anniversary. So that way I can memorize it.
I see. You got little tricks.
At least it
Yeah,
works.
at least it works. But
Unless he forgets the anniversary in January.
Maybe forget both. I remember both or forget both.
No, that'd be crazy. So and I also deal with her anxiety, which at
Okay.
first in the beginning of the relationship I didn't know how to deal with her anxiety. I had no idea like how anxiety, like different types of anxieties and stuff like that. She has social anxiety, and what makes sense for me doesn't make sense for her, right? So I have to like figure out ways to be in public or stuff like that. And to her, she was like, "You're not being very considerate," and I'm like, I don't think I'm being inconsiderate. So it's a lot of clashing in the relationship, but we still like love each other very much. I we I'm a very outgoing person. She's the opposite. Um, I say opposites attract. Um, but I think I'm at a point in my life where I just want to settle down and I don't care about the party life anymore or going out or being like super. So the fact that she likes to be home makes me happy. Um, but more about the relationship is that we've been 8 years together and we still
Okay.
haven't moved in together, which it bothers me a lot. I'm kind of working on that. Um,
It bothers you a lot. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
uh, I've been trying to, in the beginning of a relationship, I didn't make that much money. So we didn't make that much money. So moving into an apartment was very expensive and in my opinion, unrealistic.
Sure.
So I wanted to be able to make more before making the decision of finally moving out. Um, and now years later, after I know that I can, uh, she tells me, well, now it feels like I've been told no for many years, and then now you're okay with it. And it's like it's not that I'm okay with it, is that now I can afford it. Now everything's gonna be, like we can afford it. We can do it together, and that's been 4 years now that I've been able to move out.
Oh, wow.
Um,
So you've been trying to move this in that direction for about 4 years now?
yes,
What's her living situation like?
she lives with her family, mom, brother. She doesn't have a good relationship with them at all. Um, so I know that it'd be beneficial for the both of us for her to just move out and move in with me. She'd be happier.
What do you think has been preventing her from doing that at this point?
I think she's scared of not being successful. Like by that I mean like if we move out and then we don't work out, or we she moves out and then something happens to where she has to move back with her mom and brother, she won't be able to. So I think she's afraid of that.
Mm, yeah,
She shouldn't
that
be
makes
afraid of that. I mean, I think at our age, you had to do things you just have to risk at this point. Like
Yeah.
go away from the situation. And then she's never moved. She's only moved out from one house to the other her whole life. two houses,
Wow.
versus me, who I lost my parents at a young age, and I've been moving out since 17. Like I probably have more than 10 addresses.
Mm.
So I kind of know like what it takes to live alone in an apartment or in a home. I know what it takes, how much money you need to make, or uh, the time and effort that it takes for you to live alone or live in a relationship would be. She
Yeah.
doesn't know. She just thinks, oh, I just don't want to move out. Like I said, like it's a decision, and it's not.
Yeah.
Well, it's a big part of maturing, getting your own place, moving out from your family of origin. And yeah, it is scary. And yeah, it might not work out. So, those are very real fears, you know. But the what's the flip side of that, you know? Frustrating your partner to the point where they feel like they have to leave could be one of the real consequences she
Mm-hmm.
could face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've taken it to account. Recently, I've checked out 6 apartments. I told her to come with me, and she was okay about it. And I've been trying to ease her in, like, hey, this is the choices. I think she's scared, so she's like choosing like apartments that are like, the way I'm gonna say it is ghetto. Like I don't want to live in an apartment where is like my budget or our budget should be around $1,800, which is good. So we can afford to live in a place that's like comfortable and very nice, versus an apartment that costs $1,300, which is where there's no space and the neighborhood is not very good, and also it's like a very old apartment, like
Mm.
so I'm trying to show her the difference, and
Now, she
I know
grow
she
up?
could be happy, right?
How
But
did
I'm
she
sorry,
grow
yeah.
up and sorry to interrupt you. How did she grow up and what's her family like?
Her dad passed away around the same time my dad passed away, so around 15 years old,
Mm.
both lost our parents. Uh, her her mom, she has 2 brothers, and she doesn't talk to either one of them. Only if she has to. Other than that, zero communication with them. Um, and her mom has a lot of health issues, so most of the conversations are I need this and I need that. And
Now, do you think she's feeling some kind of loyalty to mom and worried about mom's health issues, and that's what's keeping her there?
yes and no, yes and no, because she constantly complains about, I'm the only one that takes care of mom, but and I'm also annoyed that my mom only relies on me, and I just really wish, that I can get more help. And obviously, I tell her, hey, if it comes to it, I'll take your mom to her appointments. I'll take her. I'll do whatever you need, like to help
Wow.
you out.
So you're really trying
And
to step up.
I think that she gets really annoyed where her mom starts talking about certain stuff about her personal life or whatever it is. And her
Yeah.
mom sets her off. It sets her off in 2 seconds. Her mom can say 2 words and she's already upset.
Mm. Sometimes when you see somebody who has difficulty individuating, living their own life, it could be because they have a vital role in their family. Sometimes they're almost like the glue that keeps things together, or they feel that pressure of being that role.
But
Yeah.
one of the things you do want to consider is that a lot of times that's reflective of how comfortable we are with somebody or how we treat people that we're comfortable with.
Hmm.
And so if she treats her mom like that, don't think that she can't be losing her patience and wind up the same way with you. So you just got to be careful.
Yeah, no, I understand. There's moments where we've had arguments where I was just like, she doesn't have many friends. By that I mean like she only has like one friend, and she barely talks about her. So why do I say that? I say that because if she is going through something, right? She wants to talk to me about it. So, but when she talks to me about it, she gets herself upset at the same time. So it's more like she's yelling at me about it. And I tell her I don't necessarily feel comfortable being your punching bag, or or as the male figure, I guess, I feel like I need to solve the problem, right? Or I have answers to her problem. So I'm like, why don't you just do this or you do that? And then she's just like, she gets upset. She's like, you think if I would have done that, I would have done that by now? Or it's not as easy, or it's
Yeah.
not as easy as said than done. And I'm like, you're gonna have to do something at some point. And then she's like, I'm not trying to talk to you to get answers. And it took me a while to understand that too. So,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes you just have to listen,
Yeah.
and they're just expressing themselves. But at the same time, I feels like it's a little too late because I wasn't acting that way for a very long time. So now
Mm.
she doesn't talk to me. She just holds it in. Doesn't tell me. She's like, what's the point in
Yeah.
telling you? You're gonna do either one of two things. One, try to solve my problem, and two, either talk to someone else about it. And I
Yeah.
don't want you to talk to someone else about it, or I don't want you to tell me like what the answer is or something. I just want you to listen and be on my side.
You're trying to rewrite a lot of old patterns.
You know, and I was like, okay, I kind of understand what you're going through because me in my own personal life, I had issues where uh, I lived with one of my sisters who was very demanding, very annoying, and the best way for us to maintain a better relationship was for me to finally move out. When I finally moved out and lived my own life, I didn't have to deal with her, you know, her problems at the same time, and now we have a better relationship.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I think that if she just tries to do the same, she'll be better. But like I said in the beginning, I think she's just afraid of like because she's seen me myself fail. Like I live in one place, and then there was one point where I lost my job, and I couldn't. I had to live somewhere else. I had to figure it out. And financially speaking, she didn't help me. She helped me with little things, but I told her that you know after 4 years, I told her, hey, if we just now I got a better job. If we decide to move in together, we can financially be better. And she was just like being told no so many times. I feel like she's more scared now.
So when you talk to her and you're asking her, about moving things forward, obviously it's been years of this conversations, which can be really frustrating because then now it's like anytime you bring it up, it's like it hits a nerve.
Hmm.
Um, are you seeing any progress? What are you doing to try and make that work?
Well, we're seeing a couples therapist now, and I've learned a couple of things myself. So I try to set a time limit, like uh, like hey, can we talk about, for example, can we talk about what the apartments if you like them or not? Maybe like set like a 30-minute kind of conversation about it, so that way she doesn't get frustrated and it feels like that's all I gotta talk about.
Okay. And
Uh,
when did you
that's been
start
working.
when did you start couples counseling?
Uh, for I think it's been 3 months now.
Okay. And do you feel like she's actively participating in that and making an effort?
This is the third counselor that we've chosen, and I think she's been doing better with this counselor, and it's also the last chance. She's like, after this, if it doesn't work, I don't want to try it anymore. And I'm like, and I'm kind of happy that she's liking it so far. But at the same time, I'm worried because in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, so what if she learns all this new information, and then at the end, when we finally have the conversation that we need to have,
Hmm.
which is go back to the center of her anger, which I think is the when I asked her to marry me, and it didn't work the way she wanted it to work.
Tell us a little bit about that story.
So uh 6 years ago on December, I asked her to marry me, and
Okay.
she said yes. She was very happy. I gave her a ring,
Okay.
And then maybe like a few hours after walking around and getting into the car, she decided to have a conversation with me. She's like, "Hey, can you do me a favor?" She's like, "What?" "Can you please not tell your friends, like, or family yet? I'll let you know when I'm ready to to let everyone know, like, hey,
Okay.
like I'm getting engaged." And I was like, "Okay, well, okay." And I said,
It's
"Okay."
scary, getting engaged is scary for some people. It's a big step. And so some people might feel like additional pressure to have all these conversations, or now everybody knows. And then, yeah, I could see why it might scare some people.
And the implication would be that she would move out and live with you, right?
Yeah.
So I could see if that might be a difficult reality for her family to accept. She might not want them knowing.
Yeah. It gets back
Well,
to the mother.
yeah.
Yeah. So she, uh, so maybe I lasted like 2 days. 2 days. I saw my friends. It was that weekend. And my friends saw that I was just happy. And then they told me, "Hey, Manny, what's going on?" I just couldn't hold it in. He's like, "Hey, man, I asked her to marry me and she said yes." Um,
You
and
betrayed me.
Yeah, she felt betrayed. She felt
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I asked you to do one thing that was very important to me and you don't listen to me." And
Mm.
I've heard those same words 6 years in a row.
Well, about
Anything,
that
any little
incident.
thing that doesn't go her way, she tells me, "Don't listen." And I was just like,
Because
"What?"
one time you did something she didn't like, and she's holding it against you for this long.
Yeah. It could be something
And
as easy as, "Oh, let's go to the movies." Oh, let's not go to this movie because this movie theater is not that great. And then we go to the movie theater and then something bad happens in that theater and she's like, "Well, see, I told you so. You don't listen to me. You never listen to me." those
Mm.
are those are the constant words I keep hearing. I can listen to her for years. "I need to go here to buy that." Or, like, "Hey, I need to buy this or buy that. Please, babe this, babe that." And I'm like, uh I don't. And then the one time that something goes wrong, and she's like, "Oh, you never listen to me." And I was like, "Okay."
yeah, that's frustrating.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's a wound on her end too. Um, I'm curious, what does her family think? Does her family know at this point that you had asked her to marry you?
No, I don't really have a relationship with her family at all. I met her brother one time. I met her other brother. We went to his wedding, so he knows me. He knows who I am and
Mhm.
stuff like that. But we don't really have much of a conversation besides, "Hey, what do you do for work?" And then I know the mom a lot more, and her mom likes me. Uh,
Yeah.
at least I have that impression of her. And she's never said anything bad about me or anything like that. So I don't think her family dislikes me. And the person, everybody has at least one person that they really like. So she does have an uncle and his wife that she really has a good connection with. And we spend time with them and they love me. Um,
Okay.
so I don't think it's an issue with like her family, like maybe knowing. I think that she's just afraid of just leaving and this is just my personal opinion. She's never told me exactly why, but I think that she's worried about like leaving and having to come back to that house that it feels like a nightmare to her because she hates her brother that she currently lives with.
Well, it
It's
seems a
really it's really
little,
bad.
it seems counterintuitive for her to stay at her family's enduring that because she's afraid of leaving and then having to come back to it. So as far as I'm concerned, it sounds like the family, her enmeshment really with that family, even if it's dysfunctional, right? And this is the hard part to understand sometimes is you can have a very dysfunctional relationship with your family and be enmeshed and have a role in that family that keeps you sucked into that system. So it seems like that's what's going on here.
I agree. She
So
hasn't individuated here. And
Mhm.
I think that a big reason of her holding on to his quote unquote mistake of telling people they got engaged is really about her holding control over this dynamic
Mhm.
and keeping him at bay. Because a lot of times an avoidant will continually blame you for one thing for years to keep power in the present moment.
And it's the distancing element, right? If I go back to this is the thing that keeps us separated, that doesn't allow us to get too close.
And we're not on equal levels, right?
Mhm.
Because it's like, I'm in control. You did this thing. You let me down. And how can I trust you? And it just keeps you at bay where you're trying to please me.
Mhm.
And, it's like I'm gaining this unconscious power over the
Mhm.
situation.
And I could see that that's, part of the dynamic on your side as well. I can hear you saying, maybe she doesn't trust that I would be able to, carry my part in the rent or in making sure that we would be okay. But to me, it's less about that. To me, it's more about her own ability to think that she'll be okay without having to live with her family, right? And that's really about what individuation is. It's being able to have that self-confidence to say, yeah, I'm going to take a risk, make a decision, and I'll be okay. I'll be able to figure it out as I go. So,
I think, I mean, to hold on to that level of anger over telling your friends that you got engaged, it's disproportionate to the crime.
mhm,
In other words, yes, I could see somebody being frustrated and upset and saying, I trusted you and you let me down, that I wanted you to keep this thing private. But to hold on to it for 4 years now and to keep bringing it up every
mhm,
time there's some kind of minor issue
yeah,
that happens, it just seems like a control issue more than anything.
mhm,
See, here's my question, right? So I hear a lot of like, well, men decide to do things logically, right? There's that clash of like logic and my feelings, right?
Okay.
Um, when does it, like, because logically speaking, like, hey, just move out, be with me, things are gonna change for you. We work together, right? And then I'm stuck in my own head because the how many times she's repeated the word I don't listen. I'm just like, okay, well, what am I missing? Like I don't know the answer. What do you like? I feel like I've been listening. Oh well, I there was a moment where I told her that this guy I've been listening to what you have to say and what the things that you tell me to do, and you still tell me that you don't. So I'm lost. Help me. And then she's like, well, that's because I've never given you the chance to listen to something big again.
mm,
And I was just like, okay, so when are
I
you gonna
mean,
what
yeah,
what
so
what does that chance look like? She's like, I'm not giving
this,
you that.
so I could see why you're getting frustrated because you're trying to get this relationship moving in a direction. You're in couples counseling, but it seems like she keeps using the past as a weapon to really dealing with things, or to not deal with things, I should say. And it seems like unless she gives up some of that control and actively tries to make this work, I
mhm.
feel like it's just barriers, that she's just looking for reasons to set up barriers.
And part of her saying, well, what if I end up moving out and then this falls through? Part of that tells me that she's still in some kind of survival mode here. How independent is she in other areas of life? We know that she lives with her family, but it sounds like she has her own job. It sounds like she's able to hold down the fort in other areas.
She has her own job. She the car that she has, she paid for with her own money.
Hmm.
Uh, and a lot of stuff that she's paid for all on her own, no help.
So
Okay.
she's a very
If
capable
anything,
woman.
I might make more money, but she's made more decisions like for me, uh, for my own livelihood, right? So
Mhm.
I'm a very minimalistic person, but ever since she came into my life, I've bought things that I thought that I wouldn't even buy, like
Like a
something as
bed.
simple as like a new
Like
bed.
the bed
Yes,
frame.
that's actually true. I had a twin bed, and then I was like, I only live by myself, so why would I buy a better bed? She was like, she's like, how you expect me to ever stay over if you're not don't have a bigger bed? And I was like, oh, okay, so I got a bigger bed. Not only did I get a bigger bed, I also had like the I don't even know what it's called. That's how much I don't really focus on it. But the
Pillows? Are they called pillows?
no, but you put
Duvet?
it on the what you put on the bed, like the mattress goes
Oh,
on this.
oh,
The magic
the
topper?
box spring.
Yeah, the not the box spring, but the headboard. I think it's
The
called.
The
headboard, I
headboard.
knew it. It was the headboard.
Yeah, so
Just
she's
men
like, it looks
stumbling through
ugly,
life.
so you need to get a headboard.
Listen
And
up,
I was
men.
like, so yeah, so yeah, no, definitely, you have to keep a tidy room with a nice bed and a nice like organized everything. Yes, I've done all of that, and I wasn't like that before. I was just I was okay with like, they make those memes about minimalistic men who have like
Yes.
the TV's on the floor and then
Yeah.
Yes.
The mattress is on the
yeah,
floor. No
the
It's not
mattress
even
is
a
on the
mattress.
floor.
That's a
Yep,
pillow.
that was me.
And that's what I was
I
thinking
don't
when
do
I was
that.
picturing this conversation starting, actually.
So it sounds like both of you, logistically are capable and in a position where you're ready to move in. It sounds like now this is more about her making that next step and having that confidence in herself, being able to have that confidence in your relationship, being able to take that risk, and see what she does.
Yeah, I think I feel like I need to. I don't want to say the word like pretend. I'm gonna say pretend just because I don't know any other word for it. I have to pretend to be like not nervous and not, like I know everything that I need to do, so that way she feels more confident. Because if I decide to be like start asking questions like, oh, what if this doesn't work out? What if this? I'm gonna feed into her
Mhm.
worries, and then she's gonna back out again.
Yeah, and I also want to say that if she does back out again, to me, once again, this seems a lot more to be a family issue, a family enmeshment issue than it does about anything that you're doing. You already got the bed frame, you already got the headboard. So, you know that you have those things in place. And I don't want you to think that because you had told your friends excitedly many years ago about your engagement that you're not deserving of somebody willing to take the next step with you.
I've changed a lot. I just don't feel like she's changed a lot for me. Like I don't hang out as much as I do with my friends. We used to hang out every like 3 times a week to once a week to now it's been 2 years. I want to say 2 years now that that we don't even get together on Christmas or anything like or Thanksgiving like we used to at all. The last time I heard from one of my friends was 6 months ago when he just had his baby, and then that's about it. Like I don't, and I
You know,
understand because we're getting older and it's not like how it used to be, and I just don't like when she brings stuff up like, oh well, you always care about your friends. And I'm like, I don't even talk to my friends anymore.
yeah, she just has, I hate to say it, but a bit of immaturity in her attitude and holding grudges and holding on to something that happened years ago when you're really making an effort to have something healthy with her in the present.
Now, I also want to ask you, what happens if she does back out? I know we want to focus on what we want to happen and not what we don't want, but I also want you to be prepared for if that outcome does happen.
I've told myself that I have to move on, right? Tell her that like this is the deal breaker for me. Just thinking about it makes me really sad. Um, and I have to face that. I don't think I can, but I have to. But I told myself I'll wait until I get there, just to not think about it. But I do have to think about it. I do have to know like if she's not willing to do this, then what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? Why am I waiting so long? We only have, like women also they have a biological time clock. You know, I feel like she's postponing her own.
Mhm.
Um, and I don't want to rush her. I want her to feel comfortable. I want her to be like, to say, hey, like I really want to do this and I'm excited to, instead of saying I'm nervous and I don't know if I can do this with you. Or every time she gets mad, she goes back to that moment and she goes, why am I even with you? And I
And
was like, okay,
I also want to say, the two of you might make it to the step where you do move in together. And then there's a whole other, slew of adjustments that happen after that too.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can individuate in the sense that, we move out of our parents' home and then we end up becoming more independent, but sometimes we internalize a lot of what we were raised with, right? So sometimes she can almost, or anybody can almost bring the family into their new home with them.
That's a great point. And
Strangely,
you hang on. I
uh,
just want to add on to Victoria's point real quick, because that is a big thing you need to consider. You have spent many years living on your own.
Mhm.
You are self-sufficient. You know how to get by. You know how to handle life. She has been taken care of in many ways by living with her family. She doesn't know what it's like to be out on her own. And a lot of times, if people don't have that time to find who they are going to bring a lot of the attitudes of that family and that dynamic and almost replace the dynamic that she has with her mom or her brother with you and her. And it can change and shift.
I for me, I actually feel strangely not worried about like if she moves in with me. Why do I say that? I feel like when she finally move in, if we and we are gonna end up facing problems, and I know it, but at least it's our problems. Like something that could be that I can safely say, let's fix our problems. I don't have to depend. It's not oh her problem at home or my problem at home because I don't live alone right now,
Mhm.
and it's not so I don't have to use other people. It could be like oh well it's something that I'm doing that I can fix. I can't change other people, but I can change myself. Not to the point where I'm lose myself, but I can to the point where I can take accountability. And I'm not gonna sit here and I say that I've done everything perfect. I have not, but I can acknowledge that I do something wrong and fix it. And us being home should be make that process a lot easier rather than using other people as an excuse. Oh, hey, I can't do this because of my mom. Oh, hey, I can't do this because my sister called me or this person or something's going on in my house. Or hey, I can't use this because of this or that. But if we have our own place, hey, I can't do this because let's work on it together. Oh, this is going on. Let's work on it. I can do this. You can do that, and at least it'll be our problems and nobody else's.
Mhm.
That's a good point to have, or
So
attitude to have. Um, at this point, do you have a time frame for yourself? Is there something that you've been considering on how much longer um, you're going to try and make this work with her being resistant, or are you seeing enough progress with her that you're not at that point yet?
I'm waiting for the conversation because we need to have that conversation uh, about revisiting what really hurts her, and that's what I think uh, our therapist said.
Okay.
Like she has a plan, and right now it's just to have her understand uh, attachment styles and understand uh, fair fighting rules. Um, understand where I'm coming from instead of just like and listen to me as well. It's not like she says a lot of listen to me, but she doesn't listen to me as well when I'm trying to express myself. That I'm not trying to attack her, that I'm just simply expressing my feelings and trying to do that. So that my time frame is that once she has a better understanding of fair fighting rules and attachment styles and understanding feelings, what feelings are okay and what other feelings are unnecessary. Feelings are okay to have, yes, but you gotta process them and still be able to talk to your partner. And that's my hope. To when we finally have the conversation, that we can finally put that moment, uh, that paradox moment to bed
Yeah.
and say, like, hey, I did ask you to marry me. I didn't listen to you. I take some responsibility that I did not listen to you, that you wanted me to do that. But at the same time, it's not fair for like you said, the punishment doesn't fit the crime for you
Mhm.
to go that far.
So how much more patience do you feel like you have inside of you? Are you optimistic and you're a little bit more patient, or do you feel like it's running thin for you right now?
I feel right now optimistic because of the the therapy session. But I am nervous to the way that she'll and I don't know what the term is, digress maybe.
Regress.
Yeah.
Regress.
Okay, regress the moment that we start finally having the conversation. Imagine learning everything you need to know to finally have a decent conversation with somebody, and the moment that we have it brings up all those feelings that you had that day, and she relives it, and then we go back to square one.
You know,
And if
one
that
thing,
happens, then I'm gonna lose my patience.
what maybe instead of looking at it as a conversation, maybe try and think to yourself, it would be better to have shorter conversations instead of one big intense one that, you know, it sounds like you might be putting a lot of pressure on one major conversation.
And also just another idea suggestion is taking things a little bit at a time. I don't know how much time she spent apart from her family's house, but being able to hit a milestone with you of, let's say, I don't know, a week, 2 weeks away from her family's home, and then see how that feels and see how that reacts. Just an idea.
Okay. Okay.
You know, there's some things that are obviously going better, that she's in therapy with you. She's making an effort. It sounds like she's been, you know, motivated and maybe making some progress. Obviously, it can be a little scary that she doesn't make the progress as fast as you'd like her to, or that ultimately when you decide to have an important conversation, she's still not there yet, in which point you might feel like, how much longer can I take this? I can't take it anymore. People have a breaking point. So, but I do think that putting all that pressure on one conversation might be too much. And I'd really consider looking at, let's have some smaller conversations and see how each one goes.
Okay. I do appreciate it, and I will try that. I think it's better because I'll at least build patience. Because yeah, I guess the natural human being just wants an answer here and now.
Yes.
But I think I'm in
That's
a mature state where I can say, okay, I have to be patient and get an answer tomorrow, or I get an answer like next week, or give her some time to process and then revisit the conversation. But at the same time, give me a decent time, not, oh, let's have this conversation a year later. You know, that's obviously
yeah,
way too long.
yeah.
Um,
You're gonna have to have those thoughts and conversations maybe with your therapist, and maybe because your therapist is talking with your partner, maybe they will maybe not reveal anything, but kind of have a better idea of suggestions or processing it with you because they know where your partner's coming from.
yeah,
Does that make sense?
it does.
All right. Well, we really appreciate you being on the show with us today.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for your time. You know, it's nice to be heard because I feel like I've done a lot of things for her, and then this is like a moment where I can speak on how I feel.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Yes.
So
And maybe we'll have you
certainly
back on in the future to share an update with us.
that'd be nice, and I hope that I'm bringing good news. I'm hopeful to bring good news.
We hope so too. Well, thank you so much for calling, Andrew.
All right, you guys have a good one. Thank you.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye.